to my channel Deep Astro Universe. Today I'll be talking about Leo Lagna. How will be the 2024? Now, before I begin with the predictions, one thing I would like to tell you that whenever you're checking any yearly prediction, one thing you need to keep in mind is the energy of that year, which is very crucial to determine. Now, for this year, the energy is of Saturn. Why Saturn? If you do the summation of 2024, it turns out to be number 8. And the ruler of number 8 is Saturn. This whole year is all about Saturnian energy. And the placement of Saturn is really important. And beautifully, this year Saturn is placed in the sign of Aquarius, that is Kumbh Rashi. And for you, for all the Leo Lagna people, it will be placed in your 7th house. A beautiful placement. So whenever Saturnian energy comes into play in a particular year, then it gives responsibilities in those areas where it is placed in your chart, transiting, I mean to say, and the areas where it is aspecting. So for all the Leo Lagna people, because it's your lord of your 6th house and into 7th house, sitting in the 7th house, this will bring definitely responsibility towards your business, towards your spouse, towards your father, because it's aspecting your 9th house from the 3rd aspect, towards your bosses, your gurus, towards yourself, because your own health, yourself, aspecting your 1st house from the 7th aspect, towards your house environment, your mother. Okay, that also. So, a lot of responsibilities. Okay, especially towards your mother, father, your spouse, yourself. Those responsibilities are going to come in your life. And one thing that I would like to say that because Saturn is also Lord of your 6th house, if you are not going to fulfill these responsibilities, then because it's the Lord of your 6th house, then fights and lot of tension can come, especially fights. The 6th house is all about competition, litigation, fights. So fights can happen in your. It can be verbal fight, or it can be even physical fight. So there could be fight also. Okay, then one more thing, even separation, even sort of separation could be there, especially if it's with your spouse. If you do not fulfill your responsibility towards your spouse, then there could be separation also from them. Okay. Mm, so this year is all about responsibility, as I say. As I have already told, what responsibility you are going to feel. You are going to feel responsibility towards your spouse, your business, your father, your gurus, your bosses, towards yourself, towards your family, towards not your family, your home environment and your mother. And if you won't fulfill those responsibilities, then you might see fights, litigation, or some kind of tension, okay, in your home environment. Now, because the nakshatra lord of Saturn is also placed in your 8th house, so there will be definitely some transformation and tension will be there, okay. And along with that, Jupiter will be placed in your 9th house. Placement of Jupiter in 9th house is really good, and it will bring change in your life. But most important thing is, if the Mahadasha Antardasha is of Jupiter, then that will definitely bring change in your life, good changes. It will make you travel to different places also. But later in the second half, not in the second half, especially after April, when Jupiter will transit to your 10th house, then there will be a major change. Why? Because whenever Jupiter transit from 10th house or it aspects 10th house, especially in the transit, then the change in career definitely comes. And especially when it transit in the 10th house, like for you Leo Lagna people, after April you can get that kind of job in your life, that position and status in your professional life, which can give you lot of money, because from there it will aspect your 2nd house and 6th house. So the two money houses will get activated, so it can give you lot of salary, source of income. Okay, that kind of job you can get after April. So Leo Lagna people, make sure you do all your responsibilities towards your spouse, your business, your father, your gurus, your bosses, your mother, your house, yourself, very very efficiently this year. If you are not going to do, then this will, or this can cause trouble in your life this year. Especially this can even cause health issues also. If not fights, then health issues. Now, talking about the beginning of this year, every year For Leo Lagna, because the ruler is Sun, Sun begin its journey from Sagittarius Rashi. And Sagittarius Rashi comes in your fifth house. It's a, it's a beautiful sign, because whenever Sun is placed in the fifth house in the Kalpurush Kundi, it's the Leo sign itself only. It's the sign of Sun only. So fifth house is really good for Sun. So when it will begin its journey from fifth house, this shows that somewhere your pride will increase this year. The pride in you will always be high. Okay, that's the reason why Leo Lagna people are very independent in their life, very action oriented. They have got leadership qualities, and somewhere they have pride in them. Sometimes that can even be false pride, but definitely pride is there in them. And if their sun is really strong, then they get bold very quickly in less age. Now, when I talk about Leo Lagna and their year 2024, as already said, what all responsibilities you are going to get in what all areas, how your year is going to begin. This whole year, you will acquire lot of good creative skills. If you were looking for, you wanted to conceive, then this year looks really brilliant for you. If I talk about your health, you need to keep in check of your health. Why? Because as I said, Saturn not just governs your seventh house, it also governs your sixth house. So if you will do your responsibilities very efficiently towards your business partners, your spouse, your father, bosses, gurus, your mother, your home, yourself, then you are not going to face any health issues. But if you're not going to fulfill those duties, carefully, then you might face health issues in this year. Okay, and somewhere even your Mahadasha Antardasha also matters. In what space you are currently, that also matters. If the space is currently not in your favor, then you might face certain amount of fights in your home environment, and even some kind of disturbances. And not just disturbances in your health also. Okay, that's why I said, if you will do your responsibility carefully, very efficiently, then the two bad things that can happen, that could occur, possibility of its their happenings will be reduced if you do your responsibility very carefully this year. Okay. Now, another thing, if I talk about, is that whole year, most of the time, your focus will be even towards your relationships also. Why I'm saying this? That most of the time you will be even focused on your relationship, because Jupiter sitting in the ninth house is aspecting your first house, your third house, and your fifth house. Now, third house talk about your siblings, okay, your communication skills, short distance travel, your willpower, strength. Fifth house talks about your relationship, your kids, your creativity. Now, when Jupiter is going to look or aspect towards your fifth house, there you might feel like either getting into a relationship with someone, or you can even see an increase in the love bond with your partner. That could also be possible. And that's the reason why I said, if somebody wants to conceive at this time, this year looks really good for you. Okay. So this was all for Leo Lagna. Now, one thing I would like to talk about before I conclude everything, that why I'm giving emphasis on certain planets and not giving emphasis on other things. See, this astrology is basically space time science. And when I say space time, space is basically your Mahadasha Antardasha. That is your space. Everybody is in their own space, different spaces. Time is basically Saturn. Saturn governs time. Saturn is basically Kal. It is time. So your space Mahadashantadesha becomes very crucial in determining how will be your year, and Saturn becomes really crucial in determining how will be that year in what respect. And because this year is of Saturn, you will get lot of responsibilities in those areas wherever it is sitting from the Lagna or from the moon sign and wherever it is aspecting. So that's the reason why I'm talking mostly about Saturn. Okay, so this was all for Leo Lagna. If you really want to get your personalized chart of 2024, it's very cheap. I'm telling you, if you go to any other astrologers, they will take like humongous amounts to get personalized chart for 2024. I'm just giving you in 1,000 rupee. You will get the detailed chart for your career, health, wealth, and relationship, and you will even get rectified time of your birth. So this was all for Leo Lagna. Now, if you really like this video, then you can even subscribe to this channel. And I hope you are liking these videos. Somewhere, many people question me about various aspects of astrology, and my aspect on giving these monthly prediction and these yearly predictions are completely different from those who give vague predictions about year and month, like anything they give. You might have seen that, especially those astrologers who teach people, they never ever give yearly or monthly prediction, just because they know we all are having different spaces, different Mahadasha Antardasha, and the major transits of these uh, these planets, these heavy planets like Saturn, Jupiter, Rahu, Ketu nodes, their transits are more important than any other transit. Okay, so this was all. If you really like this video, then please do subscribe to my channel, Deep Astro Universe. Thank you so much, Tanya.